All right, guys. In this lesson, we're going to style each blog post. Okay. And I'm going to speed through a lot of this because it's CSS stuff that you've already seen. When it is something new, then I'll slow down and talk about it. So just hang with me. Okay. So first off, I want to restyle the H2s. And I'm doing this once again because you've seen this before and to save you time. Actually, before I forget, instead of styling the H2s first, go ahead and go down here to this blog name and description and delete that. We deleted this a while ago over here on the index.html. Remember when there was, stuff up here at the top? We took that out. That's all this styling was. Go ahead and delete that. And then let's go up here and style these H2s for our site. So, automatically the H2s have whatever's right here, but we're going to override it in this section. So I want font family, and I want the Open Sans. Actually, let's just go ahead and grab all that. All right. Oh, accidentally deleted font family. All right, so we have that. And then next, I want font size to be 21 pixels. I want line height. Remember line height, we discussed this before. The normal line height for this H2 would be what the font size is. So it would be 21 pixels. But we're going to say a line height of 1.2 EM. It's a measurement we talked about before, is saying that it's going to be 1.2 of 21 pixels. So that would be about, what's 1/5 of 21's 4, so 21 plus 4, about 25 pixels font size height. And this is just like when you're using like Microsoft Word and you do line height of like 1, 1.5, or 2, something like that. We're doing 1.2. Okay. And let's do font weight, 400. Remember, there's no unit of measurement after that. And then color, of course, our standard 555. Okay, so right now we're not going to see much of a difference. A little bit different color there. Just wanted to look at that. For some reason, that 555 looked weird there. Okay, now I want to style the blog post titles. Okay, so we have a class of blog post title, and I want it to have a margin bottom 5 pixels, beautiful. Font size, I want it to be 30 pixels. Remember, shift plus up or down changes that by units of 10 pixels, so that's why that changed so fast. I want the font weight to be 700. And I want text transform capitalize. So all this is going to do is make the first letter of each word capital. That way, if you're writing blog posts and, some of them have in capitalized, some of them have the capitalized, some don't. I just like one simple standard measurement. And that way we know every word is capitalized here. So let's go ahead and copy this. And we're going to find, remember, Command F on a Mac, Control F on a PC, and we're going to say blog post, and we see it right here, blog post title. So let's paste it, indent it, save it, come over here, and you can see the way the site looks. All right, awesome. Now the next thing I want to style is this blog post meta here. Okay, so I want it to have a color of 888. I want it to have a margin at the bottom of 20 pixels, that's fine. I want it to have a letter spacing. Remember we did this earlier. 0.04 EM. Earlier you saw letter spacing of pixels, so EM is another unit of measurement as we just talked about and we've seen before. So it just gives it a little bit more spacing. And text transform, I want all this to be uppercase. So this text transform uppercase makes every letter uppercase. See how it's changing? Every letter uppercase. I want the font size to be smaller. I want it to be 14 pixels. I want the line height to be 18 pixels. Give it a little spacing there. And that is it for now. So we're going to go ahead and copy this. And we're going to replace this with it. Beautiful. Everything's looking great now. Okay, now I want to have a comments. I want comments over here to the right. So what we're going to do is we're going to come over here and we're just going to mess with this first blog post. You can do the other blog posts later, but we're just getting an overall look and feel for each blog post. And if you take this theme and you convert it to WordPress or you convert it to Jekyll, which I'll show you how to do after this course, then each one of these will be automatically created, but you'll see that later. Okay, so all you need to do is style one. And what we're going to do is right here in this post meta, we're going to add a link. And remember how to add the link. So A, and then what we want to do is we want to come over here to Bootstrap and we want to do this button. So you don't have to do the button. Instead, we're going to do an A link, and we want button type, we want danger. All right, so we're going to go ahead and paste that. I just copied it, and I'll paste it. And instead of danger, we're going to say just, number of comments. So pick a number, 55 comments. And we want it to be like that. Save that. Now let's go over here and look at this. All right, so it looks all right. But what I want to do is I want this button here to instead, I want it to have a background color the same as this red up here. So what was that? That was E74C3C. Beautiful. I want to change the padding. I don't want it to be so big. So I'm going to override the padding. And it's going to be 3 pixels, top and bottom, 5 pixels left and right. I like it. And margin right, because I want to give a little spacing over here. And I want text transform, just as we have with the rest of the metadata, uppercase. Let me see. And let's do font weight 300. Beautiful. All right, so in order to say that, what we're going to do is we're going to call a class of blog post meta, and then we're going to have a class of button danger. So dot blog post meta dot btn danger. And one thing, this could be just me being OCD, but I like to spread out my code. So I'm going to enter right there. You don't have to. It's not going to change anything. All right, let's reload this page. Beautiful. And what I would do is, I would link. So I would go over here and I would link this with an href to whatever the blog post link is with a hashtag of comments, probably. You don't have to. You could just go straight to whatever the blog post is. And when I mean hashtag comments, that means the div with an ID of comments. So it would take you down there. But you could just keep it at blog post link. So it would take them to the actual blog post itself, which we'll style later. So save that. We're good there. That looks great. All right, now another common thing is for people to do, what we like to call an excerpt. So instead of showing the whole article, which they're doing here just because, Bootstrap's done this styling for us and it wants to show us all the different types of styling we can do in the article. But, say you want to stop right here. You wanted to stop. Maybe this wasn't the end of the post, okay? So you would have, it's very common for people to have a read more link down there at the bottom, and it links straight to the blog post title. So what we're going to have, and this is the end of the blog post right here, so we're just going to do ... We're going to do an href, blog post, whatever we set up here. Oh, now went real far down. Blog post link. And we'll say read more. And you could put whatever you wanted in here. And I accidentally put this in the wrong blog post, so I'm going to change that. And you have the read more right there. Okay, you could make that a button if you wanted to. I think it looks good just being in the flow without a button. And then I also want to style this blog post a little bit. So let's highlight the whole blog post. And what I want is I want it to have a border at the bottom, just, to kind of give a little separation between posts. And we won't make it anything, major, but just a little separation, slightly noticeable. So we'll do one pixel solid, and let's just give it a nice light gray. You could do DDD if you wanted to. I like it this way. All right, and I want it to not be all up on here. Doesn't look that good, so let's give it a little padding, remember, because it's inside the border. So let's give it a padding of 20 pixels. I like that. And then let's change this margin bottom so it's not as big of a space there. I'm going to go down 50 now. Let's go 40 pixels. All right. So that looks good. I like that. So let's copy that. And like I said, we're speeding through this because you've seen a lot of this before. So I'm going to go ahead and paste. And definitely a good feeling for you to be thinking that, this is like, oh, I know exactly what's going on here. Awesome. All right. One more thing, actually two more things. First, I want to, put a link around these titles. All right, because we want these to link not only these comments and the read more, but we also want the titles to link to the blog posts themselves. So let's go ahead and put this, and just go ahead and, no, we can't. Let's go ahead and put a href blog post link. Obviously, this doesn't take them anywhere, but I'm just showing you. And we'll say sample blog post, wrap it in that. And then all is well, except for I don't want it blue like this. So what we can go ahead and do, I want to keep it dark gray. So blog post title, and the A tag there, and we'll keep it color dark gray. And the one thing is, though, I do kind of want it to hover over. So let's see what it should be. I want it to change a little bit when it hovers. So let's do a hover, and we'll do this color right here. Dot blog post title a hover. Whoops. Nice. Awesome. And one more thing to hit on is, a lot of times, let's see right here. People you see it in Medium. Images are at the top of the blog post. Tim Ferriss swears by images at the top of his blog post, and he has millions of followers, so couldn't hurt to listen to him. But what we will go ahead and do is put in an image. And I'm doing this, you'll see here in a second to show you. So we have this Udemy banner here, which is just the banner of our first course. And I'm going to go ahead and create this image folder within our site directory here. And you've done this before, images. And we're just going to drag this banner over. Okay. And now, and what they do is, they like to have a, featured image for each, as you can tell with his, for each blog post. So he's got a featured image for each one. In this case, it's a video, but the rest of them are images. And what we'll do is we'll do a nice image as well. So image source, images, Udemy banner.png, and we'll just in that image right there and reload the page. Now you can see why I showed you this. Okay, the problem here is, you can always specify like image height and weight here, width, sorry, here, but you can also do it in the CSS to make sure that they're never too big. So basically what's going on here is this column small 8 makes this, this section, this column, which is 2/3 of the page, because we know we're in a 12 column system, 600, and you can see right there, right above where it says sample blog post, 647 pixels wide. Okay, so you don't want an image larger than 647 pixels, which is, this image is 960 pixels. So you could go in here and you could change all your images to 640 pixels, which is definitely not a bad thing to do because it also takes up less memory on your server, a smaller image, smaller memory. You could also, go ahead and say what the image width should be, 647 pixels. Or you could just say, and this will scale, is that for any image within, column small, medium, or blog main, maximum width it could possibly be is 100%. So the maximum width it could possibly be is 647 pixels. And that 647 is with, it's with 30 pixels of padding, and that's why you see this highlighted as 617 pixels. And the only thing now is you need to give it some margin at the bottom. 20 pixels. Let's go 30. Nice. All right, so we want all images within blog main to have a max width of 100%. And of course, the margin bottom of 30 pixels. So let's do .blog main image, max width 100%, margin bottom 30 pixels, and reload the page, and we're still good. All right, so awesome. We've styled these blog posts right here. They look good here on the main page. We got that nice little separator right there for each post. And next we'll move on to styling this sidebar.